The night Clint Bonnell died, no one expected horror. No screams, no struggle, just a loving wife standing in shock, hands trembling, voice cracking, claiming, "I don't understand. We were fine." But the truth was far darker than anyone could imagine. Stay with me, because this story will make you question everything you thought you knew about trust, loyalty, and betrayal. And if you're ready to uncover the shocking secrets behind family betrayal true crime, hit that like button, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. Clint Bonnell wasn't just any man. A decorated Green Beret, a hero who had served his country with honor. He was known for courage, discipline, and loyalty. Born and raised in Dripping Springs, Texas, Clint grew up with big dreams. Sports, music, and theater filled his youth. He loved life fully, connected deeply with people, and carried a magnetic personality. After high school, Clint worked at Motorola, but the events of September 11th, 2001, changed everything. Like thousands of young Americans, he watched the towers fall and felt a calling he couldn't ignore. Leaving his civilian job, he joined the army, driven by duty and patriotism. He excelled, becoming a Green Beret medic, one of the military's most elite, highly trained soldiers deployed across the globe. Life seemed structured and full of purpose. Yet, behind the medals and accolades, Clint's personal life was quietly complicated. His marriage had been under the surface of calm, but cracks were forming. Questions began to emerge. Was his wife truly the partner he believed her to be? Or was there a secret festering behind the smiles, the dinners, and the weekend plans? Even friends and family noticed subtle changes. While Clint's life appeared flawless from the outside, small signs hinted at hidden tension. His wife maintained a public image of devotion, yet a sense of unease lingered in private moments. And that night, everything escalated into the ultimate betrayal. Imagine walking into your home, expecting a quiet night, only to find the person you trusted most capable of unimaginable violence. What would you do if someone you love turned against you? Comment below your thoughts. I want to know how you'd react in Clint's position. Before we go further, if you're intrigued by stories of shocking betrayals and true crime that feels closer to home than the headlines, smash that like button and hit subscribe. You won't want to miss what comes next. By 10:43 p.m., Clint's fate was sealed in a way that shocked even those who knew him best. His heroic exterior had never prepared him, or anyone, for the calculated betrayal waiting behind closed doors. Every detail matters, because understanding the build-up to that night reveals just how deceptive appearances can be. As we dive into the sequence of events that led to Clint's final moments, think about this. How well do we really know the people closest to us? Could the person you love hide something deadly beneath a perfect life? Stay tuned, because in part 2, we uncover the chilling moments leading directly to the unthinkable act that left a community in shock. And remember, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see the full story unfold. When Clint Bonnell walked through his front door that night, nothing seemed unusual. Yet every ordinary detail was a step closer to horror. A misplaced shoe, a locked closet, a whispered excuse. It all seemed harmless until it wasn't. Stay with me, because the deception lurking in that home was about to explode. And if you're ready to uncover the shocking truth, hit like, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to follow the story to its chilling conclusion. Clint's evening began like any other. After a long day, he returned home expecting dinner, laughter, and the quiet stability of family life. But subtle signs of tension were impossible to ignore. His wife, outwardly calm, seemed almost too careful, her eyes avoiding his as she moved around the kitchen. A casual comment about bills, a hurried glance at the clock, nothing overt, yet everything screamed warning. Friends who visited later described a home that seemed off. It wasn't chaotic, but it was too clean, too staged, as if someone was hiding something. Clint's instincts, honed from years of military training, would have noticed it. But that night, even his sharp eyes didn't anticipate the betrayal that awaited. The hours ticked by, each second stretching tension into unbearable suspense. Clint chatted about his day, discussed deployments, and casually mentioned plans for the next week. His wife nodded, laughed softly, but behind the facade, a plan was unfolding. One slip, one unguarded moment, and everything would collapse. Pause for a second, imagine sensing danger, yet being powerless to stop it. If that thought chills you, hit like and comment what your gut would have told you in Clint's shoes. And remember, subscribe now to see the full story unfold. Clint's last interactions with his wife were deceptively mundane. She asked about minor errands, laughed at a story he shared from his army days, and even prepared a small drink. Every movement, every word, seemed normal. But the camera of hindsight reveals the cracks, subtle manipulation, hidden intent, and a meticulously orchestrated facade. By late evening, the dynamic in the home shifted. The energy, once ordinary and comforting, became tense, almost electric. Clint sensed something. A what? Could it have been a premonition? He joked about retiring peacefully, unaware that peaceful was a cruel illusion. The audience has to ask themselves, how well can we ever truly know the people we love? Could you recognize the signs if someone close to you plans something unspeakable? Comment below. What subtle signs might have tipped Clint off? And if you're hooked by these chilling betrayals, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Every detail matters in cases like this. The story isn't just shocking. It's a masterclass in manipulation and deception. As the clock approached the late hours, the seemingly calm evening took a dark turn. Every sound in the home, the creak of a floorboard, the soft clink of a glass, became amplified. Clint's wife, who had been the picture of composure, was now moving with purpose, carefully orchestrating a sequence that would shock a nation. By the end of part 2, the tension has escalated to a point where viewers are on edge. The seemingly perfect marriage masks a terrifying reality. Stay tuned for part 3, where we reveal the fateful confrontation, the moment trust shattered, and the first actions that led to Clint's tragic fate. And yes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss a second of this shocking true crime story. Welcome back. Imagine returning home, believing your marriage is solid, only to realize every smile, every gesture was a lie. That night, Clint Bonnell faced the unthinkable, and the nightmare began long before anyone else knew it. If you're ready to see how trust turns deadly, hit like, comment, and subscribe now. The house was silent, the air thick with tension. Clint had no reason to suspect what was coming, yet tiny signs gnawed at the edge of his mind. The casual laughter, the routine questions, the 2 quick nods, each a carefully crafted mask hiding something far more sinister. That evening, the ordinary became extraordinary in the worst possible way. His wife moved with an eerie calm. She asked Clint to help with something in the basement. A small favor, she said, but her tone was different, precise, calculated. Clint, trusting, followed, unaware that this request would place him directly in harm's way. Pause. Imagine following someone you love into a situation, sensing danger, but thinking you're overreacting. If that thought chills you, hit like and comment what you would do in Clint's place. And don't forget to subscribe. This story is far from over. As they reached the basement, the reality of her plan began to unfold. It wasn't loud. There were no screams yet, no immediate violence. But every movement was deliberate, every word a subtle manipulation. Clint's wife, outwardly composed, controlled the environment completely, controlling him, controlling the moment. Clint, ever the strategist, noticed subtle inconsistencies, a misplaced tool, a door slightly ajar, a strange reflection in a window. These weren't mistakes, they were elements of a plan he couldn't yet see. The audience must ask themselves, how often do we miss the small signals before a tragedy? Comment below. What would have tipped you off if you were Clint? And if this story has you gripping your seat, hit like now. Every twist matters. Don't forget to subscribe to uncover the full shocking truth in part 4. The confrontation escalated. Words were exchanged, innocuous at first, but then tension cracked open like a dam. The subtle controls shifted into an undeniable threat. The wife's demeanor changed, a cold, calculated intent taking over. Clint, despite his military training, faced a situation no combat scenario could fully prepare him for. Betrayal by the person he trusted most. Every step he took, every gesture he made, played into her plan. She exploited his trust, his love, and his routine. In moments, the home became a trap. And while viewers are watching, they must ask themselves, how well can we ever truly protect ourselves from those closest to us? By the end of that evening, actions were taken that would forever change lives. Clint's fate was sealed not by strangers, but by the betrayal hiding behind the familiarity of home. And the chilling part, those who observe later would say nothing seemed unusual until it was too late. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. How could love turn into lethal betrayal? What signs would you notice before it's too late? Part 4 will reveal the shocking aftermath, the investigation, and the shocking truths that emerged after Clint's death. Don't miss it. You need to see the full story to understand the magnitude of this betrayal. Welcome back. What if the person you trusted most became your worst nightmare? Clint Bonnell's story ends in a chilling betrayal that shocked everyone who knew him. Before we dive in, hit like, comment, and subscribe, because the truth you're about to see will haunt you. The next morning, the calm facade of suburban life was shattered. Clint's absence was noticed almost immediately. Friends, colleagues, and family tried to reach him. Calls went unanswered, texts ignored. The unease grew, and the first seeds of suspicion were planted. Police arrived at the Bonnell residence after a neighbor reported unusual activity. The scene was quiet at first glance. Nothing appeared out of place. But investigators, trained to read between the lines, noticed subtle inconsistencies. Items slightly moved, signs of forced manipulation in the basement area, and a tension in the air that spoke louder than words ever could. Pause. Imagine discovering that something terrible has happened in the very home you thought was safe. Hit like and comment what your first reaction would be if you walked into Clint's house that morning. Don't forget to subscribe. This is the moment the story unravels. Forensic teams meticulously combed the scene. Evidence began to reveal the horrifying truth. Clint had been murdered by the very person he trusted most, his wife. The details were gruesome, precise, and chilling. The wife's plan had been calculated down to the smallest action, using her intimate knowledge of Clint's routines, habits, and vulnerabilities. The investigation unveiled that prior arguments, seemingly trivial disputes, were in fact a build-up to the violent act. Text messages, emails, and witness statements painted a terrifying picture. She had been orchestrating this betrayal for weeks. Each carefully crafted lie and each outward display of normalcy masked her deadly intent. Think about this. How well do you know the people closest to you? Comment below. Have you ever sensed someone hiding something dangerous behind a smile? Like this video if the tension has you on edge, and make sure to subscribe for more true crime revelations. Authorities soon pieced together the sequence of events. Clint had been lured to a location in his own home, incapacitated, and ultimately murdered. The precision of the act left investigators stunned. For someone trained in combat and survival, Clint had been outmaneuvered not by a stranger, but by someone intimately familiar with him, someone he had loved. Family, friends, and the community were left grappling with disbelief. The betrayal struck at the core of what they thought they knew about love, trust, and loyalty. Psychologists later analyzed the case, emphasizing how interpersonal dynamics, jealousy, and hidden motives can escalate into violence, even in households that appear ordinary. Imagine the shock of learning that someone you trusted could commit such a crime. Hit like if this story sends chills down your spine. Comment your thoughts. What could have been done to notice the warning signs sooner? And subscribe for more family betrayal true crime stories. In the aftermath, the wife was arrested, and the trial revealed the calculated, cold nature of the murder. Testimonies, evidence, and expert analysis exposed how she meticulously planned the act, manipulated her husband, and tried to maintain the illusion of normalcy. The courtroom was left in stunned silence as the tragic details unfolded. This case is a sobering reminder. Sometimes, the danger closest to us is hidden behind familiarity. Family, love, and trust can become the very tools used to destroy life. Clint's story is heartbreaking, yet it teaches a critical lesson about vigilance, awareness, and the dark potential lurking behind even the most ordinary smiles.